Oh.
I'm sorry, we were muted and I didn't even realize I couldn't see it. Now
So
you're
you
probably
didn't hear
wondering,
any of that?
hello, welcome home.
Oh
That's what
my
we
gosh.
Sorry,
No sound.
we didn't
Sorry,
realize that.
I guess we can start
Yeah, we
over.
hit the sound. Sorry, I couldn't see it.
Well, because you have spider glasses on.
I
That's
love
why.
my spider glasses.
Okay.
They should have audio now. It should be catching up.
All right, it should be.
If somebody could please let us know, I can barely see.
Can you hear us now? Could somebody please let us know?
Yep, can hear us now. See, I can see that. All good. See, we're all good. It's all good.
I'm still seeing no sound.
Who said that? Now I can hear you. Okay, all good. Yeah, everybody can see.
Oh, okay. All right. I must be on a delay because I can't.
Your mouths are moving. Chuck saw us talking. You can hear it. Love the glasses. Thank you, Alicia. They're not glasses. They're implants. I'm now officially Spider-Man.
Oh my God. All right, before we get started, we have lots to talk to you guys about. So if you would be so kind as to hit that share button and share with your friends, we really would appreciate it because Facebook has not been super kind to us, and any little bit helps. So. And you know, when you want your friends to see this, what's going on over here?
I'm looking at it in the
what?
See, because you can switch. Yeah, you can switch like what he's doing, the blinks. It's kind of cool.
I got nothing.
Okay, I guess I'll take off my clothes. Wow, the world is so bright.
Can you see now?
I can see now.
Those are pretty cool, huh?
With my Spider-Man glasses.
Spider glasses. Okay, so do we have to do your intro or can we just start talking?
Hello, welcome to TMSM Week Live Show number 112 for August 16th, 2021. I'm Scott.
I'm Michelle.
Actually, it's Spider-Man. She's Michelle.
Spider-Man.
She's Spider Show.
So, it's been a while. We have been gone. We've been busy. We've been in California. We're still tired, if you can tell. It's so weird because, you know, just the 3-hour time difference plus taking the red-eye flight is like still kicking my butt. What are you laughing at?
No, and then we had to go to the office because we had to catch up on orders and such. So it's been exhausting. The whole weekend we were kind of like zombies. And then, like, today we had to get back to the real world.
We had no choice.
So tired.
So I wanted to give you guys, like, we have Disney news to talk about. We have a new guest announcement for the House of Mouse Expo.
Is it Spider-Man?
It's not Spider-Man. And we're going to talk about Disneyland a little bit to you because
it's fantastic.
We have lots of stuff to talk about. So let's get started with Disneyland, and then we'll talk about Disney World news, and then we'll talk about the expo. Okay?
Okay.
Because we're just going to talk, like, you know, like we always do, just kind of shoot the breeze and tell you about our trip and all the fun stuff that we got to see.
Only I can't put my shoes up and kick my feet up.
Yeah.
Mary's waiting for a new grandbaby to arrive while she's listening.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
She says, watch my favorite people. Thank you. And while I wait to hear when my new grandbaby is. Congratulations.
That's wonderful news.
Is it RDJ? I wish, Randy. If it was RDJ, I would not be worried about money at all because we would pack that place in.
Right. Before we get started, too, I have to say thank you to all of you who have sent your messages and prayers about Andrew being in the hospital 2 weeks before we left. So that's another reason why we have not been here to give you updates because life just took a big spin. And, you know, you just never know what's going to happen and things happen unexpectedly. And my older son, Andrew, was in the hospital for a week. He is doing much better now. He was really sick for a while there, and you know, all your prayers meant everything, and he's doing better. He had a great trip to Disneyland. He's doing good. He was at the office today. I've been, like I said in our live feed last week, I've been the hover parent, even more so than usual, making sure he's okay, and he's been wonderful. So I just wanted to, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all your love towards Andrew and towards us.
Yes, we really appreciate it.
It means so much, so thank you.
We actually had somebody come up to us in California who had been praying for Andrew, which was kind of cool that they found us at California and told us that.
Yeah, one of our Disneyland followers saw us in California Adventure, and she's like, I just wanted to meet you and say hi, and also that I've been praying for your son. So the stuff like that is just, it's everything. So thank you so much.
So let's get started. Let's talk about Disneyland.
Let's talk about Disneyland. Okay, so how about we just take it off from your favorite thing first.
So Avengers Campus.
Avengers.
I wish I had the background music to play right now because that's all we heard for every day.
The Marvel theme.
The Avengers theme music is playing through the entire area.
Through the whole area on a loop.
It's beautiful. I'll just say it that way. We actually came into the main entrance of the land, which is right where Web Slingers is. As you're walking in, actually, the ground looks like Tony Stark's arc reactor is the way they have the ground set up, and that says Avengers Campus on the side. So it's a good picture spot, which I don't think we ever did that picture spot.
Because there was always people standing on it. So
I know they didn't realize who I was. I wanted to picture that by myself. They wouldn't move.
I'm sure that's it.
But no, we walked in there, and I'd be lying if I didn't say I teared up a little because it was like coming home for me. I just no different than when somebody cries when she sees fireworks or the castle for the millionth and a half time.
You got all.
I did. And we had to get it there quick because our reservation for Web Slingers had started, or our pass to get on that. So we had to get in line right away for that.
And I had to do a live interview for the local news for West News here in Orlando. They wanted my input on, I don't care what I was talking about. Oh, Star Cruiser. And Sean, my assistant, was with us for the first part of the trip. They called Sean's phone as we were walking into Disneyland to see if I was available for an interview. So
it was kind of crazy. Actually, were we at breakfast? And then we were walking out of breakfast.
We were walking out of breakfast, and Sean was on the phone, and it was just weird. But anyway, so we had to do that too. So everything that first morning at Avengers Campus was all whoosh.
All over. We had to rush in. So we wanted to. She had to be on the radio or on television, TV at a certain time that they had to do it by, and we were in line for our reservation for the ride. And we're like watching the clock. It's okay, and she's trying to get ready, and we're prepping her, and we're checking out the queue, checking out everything, getting her ready.
I didn't know what I was talking about.
Then we're almost close to getting on. We're like, okay, we're there. We should be on the ride. Get off in time. Get all set up. Good. Ride broke down. So, but we rode the ride, which is fantastic. The technology behind the ride is unbelievable. It's similar to Toy Story Mania, that you're shooting at objects on a screen, but in this case, you're shooting at spiders. But instead of using a gun or a mechanism to shoot at, you're actually using your hands, and you shoot like Spider-Man. So you go like this, you shoot webs, and if there's like a box, you can shoot a web, and you can pull the box with your web.
You don't have to do one of these.
You do, because it makes it feel more important.
So like I think Sean was karate chopping, and I was just punching, and you get a really good workout on this ride. My arms were sore. What?
You did get a real. It's like Taibo for the 2000s.
And you have to, all these spider bots are coming at you, and you have to shoot. You have to punch them like I did, because you're shooting them.
She's violent.
And I like to punch things, but I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then like I had Sean sitting next to me on mine. He's like, my arms, because it's a very physical ride, but it was fun.
So it was awesome though. We got to ride the ride. There was a lot of little things as you're going through the queue to check out there. Again, the inside line is not that long, like most Disneyland rides.
Right.
There's not much. We're used to Walt Disney World that once you're in the building, then you have a long wait. But there again, you're outside for most of the line. So by the time you get in there, Peter Parker comes and talks to you, explains what's going on, and then you get on the ride, which was fantastic. But then you walk out of the ride, you get to see the headquarters of Avengers Campus, which is where they have. You see the different characters walking back and forth on the stage. We do little shows, which was really cool. We saw Black Widow and Captain America getting one.
They did mostly a lot of walking.
They do a lot of walking, but it's kind of cool because as you're walking by, you'll see Falcon standing up there. You'll see Thor up there. Ant-Man and Wasp, we saw them a few times. Iron Man was doing photos down in the bottom area. So it was really kind of cool.
Yeah, it's not very big, like truth be told, it's not very big. The Guardians Mission Breakout is right behind where they build, like where they do all that walking. Yeah. They have their restaurant, they have their shawarma stand. We actually did mobile order and eat at the Pim Test Kitchen. Yes. Now, that's the place that has all the weird food.
Everything's not big or
food,
small.
But it's big or small. So I got the Impossible pasta, and it had like Impossible meatballs on it, and it was in like the bowl, like a bent spoon.
Yeah, almost like a ladle is what
I thought. Like
they took the ladle and they blew up the size of the ladle and then they turn that into basically the bowl you eat out of. So you have this big handle, which was the ladle,
Yeah.
and it sets on your plate, and that's where your pasta and the big meatballs on top of that.
What did you get? You got something weird.
It was a peanut butter and jelly with bacon sandwich with tater tots, and I know it didn't sound good because she doesn't like bacon, but it was amazing actually. I thought it was really good. Aiden had the same thing she had. Andrew had the sandwich, which was the small. It's an Italian sandwich basically with marinara to dip on, but it's also the sandwich that they can make large enough for your family.
Yeah, that's if you guys heard about the $100 sandwich, well, this is the piece of the $100 sandwich because we're not spending $100 on a sandwich.
No. And then Sean actually got the chicken sandwich. With the
it's the bun. Big piece of chicken on the little tiny bun, and like everything comes with mostly tater tots for the most part.
And then they had somebody else by us had the pretzel, which is
the big pretzel. It reminds me of the pretzel they have at Epcot
in Germany. Yeah, it's about that size, and it comes hanging on like a kind of stand for it.
So it was cool. It's kind of novelty, like the food is different. I mean, the food is good. I liked my pasta, but it's like novelty food. So it's I'm glad we got to try it, just because I wanted to get something different.
We did eventually try the shawarma, and I gotta say I was kind of disappointed in the shawarma.
So I was gonna say, by a show of hands, how many of you watched our live feed from Disneyland last night?
Look at all those people out there with their hands up.
Oh yeah,
tens of thousands of them.
Thank you for watching.
For all those in the live studio audience, you want to press.
Because you might hear some repeats. So those that did not watch the live feed from Disneyland Outside the Haunted Mansion the other night, we're just gonna recap. So, what was I saying? I was gonna say, shawarma. Ugh. So I was excited when I saw it because it reminded me of the chicken pita at one of our favorite Coney Island restaurants in Michigan. And then when I took a bite of it, it did not taste like the Michigan food at all.
No, I think it was the tzatziki sauce that they use. They use a coconut yogurt tzatziki, which I never had before. In Michigan, it's a cucumber tzatziki, so it's a completely different taste. And I don't know why they switched it up.
And the seasoning on the chicken was spicy. Like I've had like pita wrap sandwiches like that. That's what I usually get at places like that. I just didn't care for it. So, but Andrew and of course you wanted to just try it just to say you had the shawarma. I mean, if you like that sort of thing, great. I like Pim's Test Kitchen much better than the shawarma.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like $13 and you only get the pita and that's it.
I mean, it's filling. It's not a small shawarma sandwich, but like she said, $13 you don't get like chips or a side dish with it, so that's all you get. And those are walk up. You just walk up to a little stand, almost like a stand where you get popcorn.
Yeah.
With the shawarma. So it's almost like a stand you would find in New York that might be selling those ones.
Yeah, I don't know. My humble opinion, I think they have better food there than that. If you want the novelty of just saying I tried the shawarma at Adventures Campus, then by all means.
What I was bummed about though is they had a shirt that I could not find. They never had it over a little large the whole week. It was a blue shirt and it said shawarma, but the A in the shawarma was the Avengers.
He wanted this shirt so bad he really didn't like the shawarma.
I checked every single day, every booth. They're like, oh, maybe they'll be in on Monday. I checked every day. They never were.
Well, again, we're not being negative, we're being honest. This is just our experience.
Yeah, I don't want to, because I love the land, don't get me wrong at all. Just a few things we saw that were like, for being new, I guess, was the merchandise. They didn't have a lot of the merchandise, which was kind of odd that you're brand new. You think, I mean, unless the first people that came through just bought up everything.
We were like totally prepared to like blow a whole bunch of souvenir money there. And
I was prepared to sell a kid or Sean, whichever one got me more money, I was going to sell.
And for whatever reason, it saved us money because they did not have a lot of merchandise. A lot of the Marvel merchandise they had is stuff like they have at Walt Disney World. Yes. There was not a lot of specific Avengers Campus themed merchandise, except like you buy the spider bots there. They had the shirts that represented the ride. They had a couple of shirts that said Avengers Campus.
This was one of the shirts. It's a Spider-Man, and if you actually look closely, he's on the building swinging. So it's kind of a Spider-Man unique one out there. But
a lot of the stuff that you could get here at Walt Disney World, they had out there. And this was my rule the whole trip when it came to buying souvenirs. If I could get it at Walt Disney World with my annual pass holder discount, I'm not getting it there. Because like why? I mean, like the only thing is like I told him it has to say Disneyland on it or I'm not buying it. or I'll get it at Disney World. Like, why? Because they have these same sweatshirts at Walt Disney World, but they say Walt Disney World, so I wanted the Disneyland.
And I don't know if they had my spider glasses here, because I have not seen them.
I have not seen them.
I was buying them no matter, because we actually, the first night we went down there, before we went to any of the parks, we went to their downtown Disney area, and I saw somebody walk by with them, and I was like, oh, those are so cool, but I only saw one person with them, so I was like, well, they must have got them somewhere else, and they're just wearing them out here. And then when I saw them in the store the next day, I was like, I must have those. They have a store that is, I don't even know how to explain it, it's just a big room, almost.
It reminds me of one of the convention rooms, like at D23 or something.
That is just all marble, and it's more than just like clothing and stuff like that. They actually had like the figurines from like Sideshow Collectibles, Hot Toys, stuff like that. And they had comics. They had all the different phone cases and watch bands and just magnets, everything you can imagine that they could slap anything marble on it. It was in the store, which was kind of cool. And they had some of the props they used at D23 when they announced the land. So like the big pretzel or the big Avengers they had to take pictures with. So
we had pictures by that stuff before because we were lucky enough to be at the D23 announcement. So, but it reminded me of that.
Yeah, but I was in that store like 4 or 5 times over a few days.
So after Avengers Campus, we did of course Cars Land out there, Pixar Pier, the Incredicoaster. I love Pixar Pier, and I'm not even sure why I love it so much.
The pictures, I think.
I love the wheel. Like I said the other night, I take pictures of, it used to be Mickey's Fun Wheel, now it's the Pixar Pal Around, but the big wheel with Mickey on it. I take as many pictures of that as I do as like a castle. I just think that it's beautiful, and I love the pier, and you can see the coaster going around where it says Pixar Pier. World of Color is not happening currently.
No, what's weird is all the mechanisms that were normally in the water for World of Color were gone, we noticed. So I don't know if they're refurbing everything and going to put it back, or if possibly it's going away. We have no idea. We haven't heard anything either way. But even the little, I guess for a better word, the huts that the lights would come out of.
Yeah.
Where the ceiling would go back and they would come up, those were gone. There was nothing in there.
There was nothing in the water that even reflected the World of Color used to be there.
No, so I don't know if they're just doing a complete refurb to restructure it all and then put it back. I don't know. I don't know why.
I don't know, yeah. But I mean, it was a beautiful show, and I'm glad we got to see it. So I don't know what's going to happen, and it just wasn't going at the time. Mm-hmm. What else did we do at California Adventure?
Of course, we did Monsters Inc., which is a great ride.
Monsters Inc. Oh gosh, the one in Cars Land.
Radiator Springs.
Radiator Springs Racers.
Then you like Luigi's. I don't know what that's called actually.
I call it the wedding dance.
I think you're supposed to be at a wedding, which is kind of cool. It's the one where you sit in the car
and the cars dance.
They dance to the music.
So Italian music, so it is right up my alley. I think I like that ride so much, and I was talking to the boys about that, is because it reminds me of family get-togethers when I was a kid. Because I've told you a million times, my dad's side of the family's Italian, and we always had these big gatherings that everybody would sing and dance and have a good time, and it was always just a big hoot. And I think that's what that reminds me of. And it reminds me of my grandma too. So
because her grandmother knows all those songs.
My grandmother knows all those songs.
John said I have a hair awning.
What?
I don't know.
A hair awning. Kind of. Well, he did have glasses on before.
Maybe if he'd show up on time, you would have seen why. Mr. Late.
Better late than never, right?
Exactly.
So anyway, so the first day we did California Adventure because we wanted to do Avengers Campus, of course, because he's been jumping at the bit.
And we can park hop. So reason to.
And it's another thing too out at Disneyland, the parks are right across from each other. So they're park hopping out there. After 1 o'clock, you can go across to the other park, which is really nice because they're right there.
Yeah, it's like half a football field in between the two of them.
That's almost like having Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom that touch the same parking lot. I mean, how cool would that be? It's just really convenient, and you get to cover more ground that way too. I mean, in my opinion.
And we did that after the first. We did a full day at each park, the first 2, and then we hopped from there. The rest of the time we were there.
Yeah. So after he got Avengers Campus out of his system, the next day we did Disneyland. And that park is just so nostalgic, and it's.
You feel it. I mean, if you're a true Disney fan and you walk into that park, you can actually feel Walt in that park. I mean, granted, everything was inspired by him, but to actually know he walked through that area, he walked through that front town square area, he walked up the street, to see his light on in the firehouse in the apartment.
His apartment still. So.
When he walked through the castle, just everything that he touched and did in that park. You just it has a different feel to it. I don't know how to explain it unless you've been there. It's really hard to explain.
I was trying to explain it on the live feeds that we did, and I think part of the terminology I used was it has a certain charm to it, yes. Because it still has those old-fashioned Disney roots. You know, because on the other side of Sleeping Beauty Castle, they have all like the classic little rides. They still have like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. They have Peter Pan there, which we have too. But they have the Pinocchio ride. They have Snow White. They have that Storybook ride. Yeah. They have Alice in Wonderland. So all those classic attractions. And I really love their teacups. I mean, they have the open area teacups.
Right. It's like in a garden. It's almost like you're in a garden.
Yeah, I really like their Fantasyland is really cute. They have a lot of stuff, and plus, you know, it's a small world. It has, you know, you start on the boats outside,
right.
And it just has charm and nostalgia, and you feel that. It's very hard to describe. Their castle is so tiny that it's still hard to. Yes, it's Walt's castle. It's the original. Gotcha. I'm with you. But we're so used to looking at Cinderella Castle, which is big. You know, and when you walk on Main Street and you're going looking for the castle behind the partner statue,
small.
It's tiny. I mean, it's very cool, but it's small, and it's weird because when you go up there to take pictures, it's just you feel how tiny it is. But walking through it is like that. You know, you walk up to Cinderella Castle, you gotta walk up the whole thing, and then through the middle and the whole whatever.
But what's cool about their castle, and if you don't know this, there's actually a walk-through attraction inside their castle. So on the back side of it, there's actually a door you enter, and you actually walk through the story of Sleeping Beauty.
In the castle.
So they have different scenes set up to where you see the different scenes of the movie that, and I think it also gives the story as you're going from window to window. Which is really kind of a cool little thing to walk through and see. I was enjoying it.
So I really think that, you know, I was gonna write a blog about this, which I still might, but I said we were talking when we were live the other night. Disneyland. Jack is snoring. If you're wondering what that noise is, he keeps distracting me with something.
He's distracting. Period.
Okay. You know, people. I don't like that debate of which park is better. Because I think that they both are good. I think that there are some better things about Disneyland. And if you've been to both parks, you probably understand. But their Pirates is better at Disneyland. It's longer. Their Space Mountain is better. Their Big Thunder is better. Their Mansion is better. But everything.
Their beignets are better.
Better.
The food, actually, as a whole, I think the food is better.
The food is better out there. But I mean, as a whole, I don't feel that you can really compare the two because they're same but different. If that makes sense.
They're a completely different experience. Mm-hmm. But once you've been to Walt Disney World many times and then you've gone to Disneyland a handful of times, it's very easy to make those comparisons. Mm-hmm. We were standing the last night we were there. We were taping their show at nighttime,
which we'll talk about in a
and
minute.
we had a great spot. I mean, we were literally they take the hub area around the partner statue and they actually close that off to people standing there. It's just a walkthrough. Nobody can stand there, and they're really good about not letting anybody stand there. And we were right at the rope, right in front of the partner statue. So if you've seen our video of it on YouTube, that's exactly where we were. But it was just. Michelle turned around. She was like, "Oh my gosh!" And you could see people all the way to the train station.
A sea of people.
But their Main Street's not as wide as ours, I don't believe, and I don't think it's as long as ours. So when it does that at ours at Walt Disney World and it goes all the way to the train station, it's a lot more people. But there, just because it's more compact, it does look like it's still a sea of people, a lot of people, and it was a lot of people. I'm not gonna say it's not, but their parks aren't that busy even when there's a sea of people.
See, I thought it was kind of busy when we were there.
I think it was bad.
Sorry, I'm not trying to dig in my eyeballs. I'm just tired.
I've seen it worse. I mean, the ride's probably 20 to 30 minutes on average, I would have to say. For most, which At Walt Disney World, if you can get 20 minutes for any ride, that's great.
Yeah. I want to talk about the fireworks, but I want to rewind for just a second. So it was really cool. Not the first day we went to Disneyland, it was when we came back again. We actually got to ride their Haunted Mansion on its birthday. It was its 52nd birthday.
Mary had her grandbaby. It's a girl.
Oh, congratulations!
So that's a first. Child was born during the broadcast.
It's the first time for everything. Congratulations! That's wonderful news. Haunted Mansion 52nd birthday. We just so happened to be there for that, and it was really cool to be able to ride it on its anniversary.
It was really cool to experience it that way.
So their Haunted Mansion, they put in since we've been there last. I'm sorry, my eyes are so tired I can't see.
They see you. You don't see them.
Okay, so. They put in, like, you know how Disney World has like our pet cemetery area. Well, theirs is in the queue as you're walking up, so they put like that up.
They added more, yeah.
And the inside they added, when you're walking to the Doom buggies, they added a new picture on the wall that changes her face. Like I don't know what her deal is.
I don't know. She looks angry, but I like the old way better. The old way looked creepier to me. This new way.
What was the difference?
It was just a lot more cobwebs and old antique type. It looked more like the attic type here to me before.
Well, they still had the candelabras and
stuff.
It's
just, I liked it better before. I don't know why.
Okay. So they added a couple of new touches there, but because we ride the Haunted Mansion at Walt Disney World so much, we noticed those differences.
We do.
And like we rode it 5 times when we were there
at least.
And it is different. And at the end, like their beginning is different. Then of course they have the amazingly awesome Hatbox Ghost, which I love.
The attic is a little bit different because the organist is actually in the attic rather than on the first way when we roll out. There's an organist.
Yeah. It's just differences.
And it seems like when you're in their attic scene, you can see stuff clearer.
You can. Their lights are different out there. Yeah, they are. Even in the graveyard scenes, you can see the ghosts better. You can see the cemetery keeper. Yeah. You can see him better. You could just see better. Everything is lit up more.
We got better pictures going through there, especially with the hitchhiking ghost, because I can never get that picture good at Walt Disney World because we've never stopped right there. We stopped right before it, but we never stopped there. And there's just, we were able to get much better pictures. The light was a lot brighter in there, and it worked for us getting what we wanted.
The first time we rode it, we stopped right in front of the Hatbox Ghost, which was perfect for me.
Which is funny because we both just started taping, recording, taking pictures, and then when it took off, she's fist bumped me. She's just
yes, because he is so cool. He is so cool, and we have room for him outside our attic at Disney World. But I mean, I really think they need to move one over there. I mean, if I had,
I could help build it.
He's so cool, you guys. He's just so cool. And if you know the history of the Hatbox Ghost, it's even cooler.
Which you'll be putting on the next couple of weeks.
Probably because for Halloween stuff. Right. So let's talk about the fireworks out there. So it's called Mickey's Mixed Magic. Mm-hmm. Now, I put out little clips of it on our Facebook page, and he put the whole show on YouTube because I got bits and pieces of it each night because it was crowded and it was busy.
Yes.
So for those that missed it, they have the fireworks and the projections on the Tiny Castle. And then all up and down Main Street, the buildings have
the same projections.
The same projections and the music and the lasers and the whole thing. And it is such a fun show.
And snow.
Yeah, during the frozen section, some of the grocery store.
During the frozen
section, they actually had snow. But the music is really upbeat, almost like a dance party almost.
Yeah, it was funny because the first night when we were walking through there, and we weren't staying for it the first night. We knew we didn't have a spot picked out early. We weren't going to try to just pull over and see it. We're walking, so we're heading up Main Street. We're hustling, trying to gather before the crowd gets out right after the show. And all of a sudden, you hear the ghost host. And me and her both just stopped where we were and turned around because they have the Haunted Mansion part in their show.
They do.
Which was fantastic.
And, they're trying to get people up and down Main Street, and I'm recording as I'm walking because I'm not missing that. And the show is great. If you can catch the show on our YouTube channel, or you can go back and look at our Instagram or back in Facebook posts, because I have bits of it there. Love it.
Yeah, it was a great show. When we finally did see it from beginning to end at the front, we both really enjoyed it. It was a really good show. It's only 11 minutes long, I think, so it's not a long show.
It's not a long show, but it's wonderful. And like I had said before, like on the video, I'm wondering, because this show does the projections up and down Main Street, our 50th anniversary show is supposed to have projections too.
Yeah, Josh Taylor actually popped in. He goes, how it is a great show. He said the 60th anniversary fireworks were similar with all the projections down Main Street. He prefers how they encompass the whole thing is, since the castle isn't something you can see from every vantage point. So it's a way to see the projections. It's
true.
Thanks,
and
Josh.
There's trees up there. So the castle's small, but they have trees up there. So there's a lot of obstructions to where you can't see.
Yeah, and at Walt Disney World, Magic Kingdom, there's hardly any trees anywhere.
You can pretty much see the castle all over, pretty much, but not at Disneyland.
No,
so.
But it's just we both seem to like that park a little bit better, without saying one's better than the other.
Yeah, I like it all.
Yeah, I prefer it. Disneyland, California Adventure, I love. That's probably my absolute favorite park of the 6 that I've been to.
Do you ever think, though, if we lived there, you might not feel that way? Because we're just so used to Walt Disney World, and like going out to Disneyland feels like vacation. When we go here, it's more work because of what we do for a living. So I think maybe there's
I'd like to test that theory. Without having to pay California prices.
We're not moving to California.
Picking
Nobody will ever come visit us.
Visit us now.
At least I get like once a year visits. So when we were out there also, before we talk about the Disney news, we actually were hosted to go to Universal Studios Hollywood for the day. And it was really cool. The scenery is great out there with the mountains, and it's a great park.
It really is. It's not what we didn't know what to expect, honestly. We had looked online and I saw they had a lot of the same rides we had here at the Orlando one. But everybody kept saying, "Oh, there's 2 levels. There's an upper level and a lower level." I'm like, "How do you have an upper and lower level?"
We don't know what that means.
They didn't understand what they meant. Well, because it's on a mountain. And actually, you start at like the top of the mountain, and if you go down lower, you're at the bottom of the mountain. There's stuff there, and you can go to the other side of the mountain. That's the backlot tour, which I love the backlot tour, and that's actually a live studio.
Cool.
They still do filming there on shows, movies, television, TV shows, talk shows, things like that. They're always doing something out there, so it's actually a live production studio.
Yeah.
Still running, which was really kind of cool to see, man. That way.
I'm gonna sneeze. You can keep talking.
Okay, so we went up to the top of the hill, and the best part is when you're on the top, you look out. The view is absolutely amazing. You can see for miles and miles. We actually saw the Walt Disney Studio from there. You could see the water tower.
Yeah.
You could see Warner Brothers lot from up there. What else did we see? We saw another lot too. I thought there was 3 or maybe not.
You see a lot up there.
It's just
beautiful.
really cool. The Jurassic Park or Jurassic World ride was a really cool water ride.
Mm-hmm.
We thought we were gonna get soaked. I did, because there was nobody in front of me. They all stayed dry, so it worked out to their advantage.
Yeah.
They have a different mummy ride. It's not the same as ours. It's a mummy. It's the mummy, but it's not the mummy ride we have.
No, it's different.
So it's different.
I liked it out there, and I really enjoyed the tour.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was my favorite part, was going on the tour of the studio. So
it was cool, and even though with COVID and everything, they still had characters out. So I don't know if you saw, but we have a picture of us with Frankenstein and Dracula, which was really cool. And Dracula, oh my gosh, I thought it was Bela Lugosi. I mean, he like reincarnated, because the guy looked, sounded everything like him. Frankenstein was really cool. I was wearing my Back to the Future shirt that day, and Dracula is talking to me. He goes, "You need to find Doc Brown. He would love that shirt." And come to find out, he told Doc Brown to come find me. So Doc Brown found me later.
So they could have their selfie with this Back to the Future shirt.
It was kind of cool.
Yes.
I was excited.
And the monsters were flirting with me, so I wasn't
They
scared.
were.
That was pretty funny.
She was laughing. Normally she wouldn't go up to that at all, and she was laughing the entire time.
They were really sweet.
So
But
Corey,
anyway,
no, he has to go into Funko Hollywood.
we drove past it.
Drove past it, but we did not go. We just didn't really have the time to do it.
And it's kind of in a little bit of a scary part of town as far as Hollywood Boulevard. The last day we were there, we did do the Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
I finally found the Hollywood sign.
It was there the whole time. She just didn't turn around.
Yeah, you want to hear something really stupid? So, like when we were there 2 years ago, we drove up the mountain up to Griffith Park,
Yes.
and the observatory's up there, and we just circled and circled, couldn't find the Hollywood sign. Well, this time we're gonna go up to the observatory and we're gonna park.
It wasn't busy this time either.
We pull over on the side up by the observatory, and I'm looking for this. I'm looking. Scott gets out of the car and he pulls over, and he just goes.
And I'm like pointing at her in the car, like, get out. She's like, hold on. I'm like, no, get out.
Get out of the car.
Before
So I get
pay
out
for
of the
parking,
car, and I go, what? He goes, turn around. Turn around. There's the Hollywood sign. It was behind us. That's why I didn't see it before. So all this time, we just were looking in the wrong spot. How do you miss like the biggest icon of that whole city up on the mountain that you miss it? Only me, I swear. So.
But she finally saw it. So now next time we go up there, she will at least know where to start looking.
At least, yeah, I feel better now. I was starting to feel like it was like Bigfoot. It was like it was playing like hide and seek with me, but I finally got
see, Josh said the Los Angeles smog makes it a bit more difficult to find.
Okay.
So see, he gave you an out. That's why you couldn't find it.
Or I just didn't look behind me. There's that too.
Well, if you want to be blunt about it, yeah. She would have turned around, she would have saw it, she would have been happy.
I was just so mad. I'm like, I could have seen this 2 years ago, and it was right there the whole time. I actually Googled, and they said that you can see the Hollywood sign the best from the parking lot of the Home Depot or something like that.
I wasn't about to drive around.
I couldn't find the Home Depot, just like I couldn't find the Hollywood sign.
Yeah, we found the Home Depot, but we still didn't see the sign. That was
oh my God, it was so embarrassing. So we did find Walt's Star. We did see Roy's Star.
Yeah. Disneyland.
We went to the Chinese theater and actually saw the stuff in the cement. I did a live stream of that.
I saw the Avengers and Stan Lee's.
Oh, the Avengers! Yeah, all the Avengers are in the cement. Their handprints and stuff. So that was really cool. It was less busy this time on Hollywood Boulevard, so we actually got through a lot quicker.
We did. It was great. I loved walking around down there. It was really nice. Just so much to see, so much shopping and stuff down there. A lot of unique stores, a lot of unique people.
What do you? Oh, yeah, a lot of unique people down there. Also, what was it? Was the Disney Studio Store? Is that what it was?
Yeah, the Deer Deli.
What are you laughing at?
Lorenzo. Scott, look behind you, Michelle. Michelle, I'm not falling for that.
Like, turn around. No.
Okay, I'm gonna take pictures of you not turning around and look at the sign you've been wanting to see forever.
And you know what? Just one more thing. You know that sign is huge, right? And I'm looking at it. It looks great. Now when I go to take a picture, it looks this big.
It's forced perspective.
It's like this big. So I'm trying to take a selfie with the sign, and I'm pointing at it so you don't miss it. I'm like there it is. It's big, but it's there. Yeah, it was just weird, but I feel like I kind of got that part of the sightseeing out of my system now that I saw the sign. I guess
so you're not gonna.
I won't drag you around looking for a sign anymore.
I don't know where it is next time.
At least I know where it's at.
That's true.
So, anyway, so it was a really good trip. I hope you guys enjoyed the coverage. I tried to post as much Disneyland content as I could between Instagram and Facebook because I wanted, like, for those of you who haven't been out there yet, or were considering a trip out to Disneyland and wanted to see what it's all about. I just wanted, I wanted to share that magic with you to give you an idea of what it's like out there. And I was one of those people that really wasn't interested in going to Disneyland for a long time. And then when we finally went in 2017, I was so glad that we did because I thought it was wonderful. So,
and now she looks forward to it whenever we do get to go.
Yeah, I really do like it. It was fun.
We found a hotel we really liked, so that works out great.
I sort of miss it already, a little bit, but I'm still so tired. Did I say that already?
I think so.
I'm
tired.
So let's get back to Disney World, shall we?
I'm taking a plane.
Okay, so all right. So
what's going on here?
All right. So Disney news. Okay, let's just start with what came out today.
What came out today?
Which I believe is no shock to anyone. The NBA experience at Disney Springs is not reopening. Now, let's give you a quick refresher of the NBA experience. I was at the grand opening ceremony 2 summers ago where they had the basketball players and like Bob Chapek was there.
Grant Hill from the Georgia.
They had a lot of like it was a thing. It was a thing. And then we got to tour the inside and all of that stuff. So that was a thing in July, and then it closed in March, like everything else did.
Yep.
And then when Disney started reopening last summer, the NBA experience never reopened. And I was really surprised at that because they had a really cool store in there. And
they never reopened the store.
I thought, you know what, they could do the store at least and make some sort of money. If they didn't want to do like the basketball activities in there, like at least open the store.
And we started seeing the merchandise from the store at the outlets, actually, because I got a Pistons hat from there, with Mickey on it. But it was a Detroit Pistons hat that they were selling at the NBA experience, and I ended up getting it at the outlet. And they had some of the jerseys there and stuff like that, so stuff was moving to the outlet for a while there.
Yeah, so that's what made me not surprised that it wasn't reopening, because every time we've gone down there, the M&M store is right there now. They have CityWorks on the other side. There's no reason that they couldn't have at least opened the store, and they didn't. They still had the big the projectors going in the games and all that. But so they announced today that it's not going to be reopening. Now, here's my thoughts. When I put out the news a couple of years ago that the NBA experience was coming to Disney Springs, people were not excited about it. I think that we were talking about this earlier, and it's a very select group of people that are basketball fans. And I think that it's just it's a certain group. And Disney people want Disney, and I didn't know how that was going to blend. And of course, I read all the feedback, and people weren't super excited about it. Actually, they were really kind of not nice about it. I just think it's a shame that they spent all that money. The building is beautiful. The screens on the outside are awesome. I mean, they did such a good job with this building, and for it just seems like such a waste. You know what I mean?
I think what they could have done with it, instead of signing a deal with the NBA and being exclusive to the NBA, they should have just turned it into an ESPN type sports restaurant activity.
They could have made it like all sports,
which I think would have been a lot better, because then you would never have that lag. You would always have one of the 4 major sports always going on.
Yeah.
And then soccer is huge on there, so you can actually have the 5th sport thrown in there and represent the local teams if you want to. Because I know we're really big with working with the Orlando Magic and such, but they could still do something like that, include the NFL, include baseball, because you had the Braves played at ESPN for, what was it, 20 years, Corey? I'm not even sure, but they were there forever. So you could have appealed to every sports fan if you would have had all the sports in there instead of just basketball and that's it. Because like they said, it is a very unique audience that just, you either love basketball or you don't like basketball. Not many people are. It's okay.
I mean, they're just like, you're weighing your pros and cons. Like that would be like them putting a hockey experience there in the Florida Heat. I don't think that would have gone over well either.
Probably not. I mean, you could do hockey if you had other things in there, because there was hockey fans down here. Tampa Bay just.
I mean, you put that in Detroit, it'd be a hit.
Put that in Detroit. But I feel that they should have done something sport, and I think they should have taken the hit that the NBA experience. There's a reason the NBA restaurant didn't stay at Universal.
It didn't.
It closed and became Toothsomes, and I don't know if it was because they just didn't get enough business. But every time we walked past there, it never seemed like they were busy.
No, and that's what surprised me. If this was not doing well at Universal, what made you think it was going to do good at Disney? And I don't know. I'm just not surprised. We did our live show from there. Yeah. I liked the building. I thought that it was fun, but I'm just not surprised.
No, I can't say I'm surprised. I would have loved to have had an NFL experience, but I think Major League Baseball could have done something. I think hockey would do parts of the year. I think college football on Saturdays would do phenomenal there, because I don't know how many times I've been in the parks and I see a guy watching his phone to watch whatever game he's missing on a Saturday or Sunday because he wants to see what's going on with his home team. Or his favorite team. So I do think that would all work if they did it. I just don't know what they're going to do now, because that building is awesome, but it's really, what can you do with that building?
I have an idea. Let's bring back Disney Quest, but do it right this time. I really think that Disney Quest, it needed an overhaul bad. It reminded me of like Chuck E. Cheese or something when we were there. It just needed an update. They could have really, I know you don't agree, do you?
No, I have a better one.
Oh, what?
Turn it into a Pleasure Island thing at nighttime.
Like a dance club?
Yep.
Ooh.
It's big enough, it's open. You could really do something like that at nighttime. And it would liven up that side of it. I mean, right now all you have really over there is House of Blues and M&M.
And City Works.
And City Works.
Yeah,
But I
because
mean,
Cirque du Soleil isn't going on
Cirque
right
isn't
now.
going right now. And I think if they brought back Pleasure Island, people would go crazy because they've loved Pleasure Island. And you could theme it basically different areas of it could be a different theme.
And see, I agree with you in that regard because I really think that Pleasure Island brought that nightlife feel to, well, it was Downtown Disney at the time. People enjoyed going to the clubs and the comedy thing and the New Year's countdown at night and the special merchandise and the special food and the bars and the whole thing. I really feel like Disney Springs could use something like that again.
I think they could.
Because you can only shop so much or eat so much. I mean, Pleasure Island was fun. And it was fun every time. It wasn't boring.
No. And put it on that side. So that way you still have the other side where it's more family-friendly shopping and eating on the other side. But you could have the clubs over there for the adults to go in.
Because truth be told, if we're being honest, nobody goes to that side of Disney Springs hardly at all.
If House of Blues has an event going on, it's busier. CityWorks has really good food, and I know they're busy for like their brunches and stuff. Actually, I've always seen them busy. Their food is really good in there. M&M store, I don't know if it's busy now, but is it nowadays? Splitsville gets busy, but it's really expensive to go bowling in Splitsville. So
Splitsville is really expensive.
For bowling and such. So we've done it, but only on an event we were at.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is that side, the west side of Disney Springs could use a little pizzazz.
They do have the best donut place though in the world.
Oh, the donuts. Those donuts are so bad for you.
No, it's a donut. Nothing that good can be bad for you.
It's like an 8-pound donut. It's bad for you.
How is an 8-pound? Anybody, tell me how an 8-pound donut is bad for me. Shane, I know you got my back.
It's bad for you.
Corey, you like donuts. Don't tell me you don't. I've seen you eat some. I've seen you eat a lot of food.
Just throw them under the bus.
John is still here somewhere. I know he's eating donuts.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying they're healthy.
But if you're doing, it's what is the saying? Disney calories don't count.
Oh, but the donut place they do. I'm sorry.
I don't believe you. I think you're lying to me.
But seriously though, just sidebar for a second.
Go big or go home. Randy, hush, Michelle.
So they keep adding more food at Disney Springs. Like you got the donut place, you got Gideon's that nobody can get into because they're cookies and people wait hours for cookies.
Did I tell you what Melissa linked it last LOL?
No.
Before LOL, she wouldn't put her name in. So that time LOL was over, she got right in.
Oh my gosh, that's just ridiculous.
That's a good idea, though.
It's a good idea on her part, but it's ridiculous that you have to do that.
We're going to put our name in there for the show next time.
Maybe so. But no, they keep adding like food.
Donuts are good carbs. I agree so much. You need energy. Look at right now, we're tired. Why are we tired?
I'm exhausted.
We didn't have a donut. If we would have had a donut this morning, we'd bounce off the ceiling.
I don't know if it's true. We sugar crashed by now. But my whole point with all the food that they're adding, they need some nightlife. Forget Disney Quest. We need a club.
Lorenzo says his wife celebrated her 21st birthday at Pleasure Island, and she didn't even turn into a donkey that he knows of.
I love Pleasure Island.
8 pounds of sugar, diabetes just waiting to happen. Donuts are good. I agree. Donuts, donuts and Pleasure Island should be in the same building.
No. You know what we need? We found
Pleasure Island donuts.
Pleasure Island donuts. Donuts, drinks, and dancing. There you go. I would be all about it.
I could probably get Elliot to come play.
In California, they have like the mom and pop donut shops that we don't have here.
Gosh.
There's one up the road from Disneyland, and it is like the best donuts.
We took Sean. It's a 12-minute drive.
It's a 12-minute drive, and I ate more donuts than I probably should have. They could put that donut place in Disney Springs.
They were so cheap though. We went there the one day and we We got a dozen donuts and 2 extras, and everybody got something to drink. It was like $23. Then a couple days before we left, we went back late at night because we wanted to get donuts for the next day because we got tired of paying for breakfast every day. And it was $1 a donut because it was late in the day, and they still tasted as fresh as they did in the morning. And it was just, and they were great. I know I want one right now. I wonder if they'll ship.
So good. Isn't there a saying $1 to donuts? Isn't that how that goes?
Like that.
They were $1 donuts.
I'll take a whole bag of donuts.
So anyway, great donuts in California too.
But Alicia said it, they do need a nightlife at Disney Springs, and I agree. And they started to at what was it? The Edison.
The Edison.
The Edison had it. I don't know if they still do it or if they stopped because of COVID and everything. I'm not sure what happened with that. But it's just, it seems like it's a missed opportunity. And they might maybe want to do it one day and they just haven't because of COVID and getting everything back to normal still.
But here's your chance, Disney. With NBA experience on its way out, let's do something fun in that building.
Or Cirque du Soleil never returns. That could be a fun
Bagel Club. We need it. We need something fun.
Make a walkway from one of them.
Oh, yeah. You could really, really jazz that place up over there. I have ideas, but nobody cares what I think. But anyway.
Randy's. We've had Randy's Donuts. Those are good, too.
I didn't see it on the strip this time.
We didn't go far enough down. That's why.
Okay, never mind. All right, so also last week while we were gone, the Boo Bash had kicked off, and to mixed reviews, let's say, because so John was there, and I had him, I said, send me your coverage so I can share with our readers. So I'm waiting, and so I'm like, John, he's like, there's nothing to show. And I'm like, what do you mean there's nothing to show? He's like, it's like the same cavalcades they had in the day last year. And he said there was no special Boo Bash merchandise. You know how for Not So Scary.
That's a missed opportunity.
That's a huge one. But speaking of merchandise, so all that Halloween stuff came out last week at the Emporium. And I seriously, was just, because they come out with so much Hocus Pocus stuff this year, and I'm seeing the pictures, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're not going to have it when I get back. I was so sad. And it was a free-for-all, a frenzy, if you will. And Disney was supposed to limit 2 items per person. And somehow that did not happen. And all the merchandise was gone. The lounge flags, gone. The Hocus Pocus spirit jerseys, gone. The Oogie ones, gone. Like anybody who is like just a person like myself who just wants to go and maybe get a Hocus Pocus shirt or the little Hocus Pocus plushies or whatever, forget it. It was gone. So then I heard as soon as they restocked this stuff, it was gone again. I mean, and
how much you want to bet sitting in the warehouse in the back? They're just creating a frenzy so it'll sell out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just super frustrating. So then this morning,
what is the name of the donut shop we went to? It was
B&B.
It looked like Bob's Donuts.
It looked like Bob's because
B&B.
there was a donut behind it. I thought it was Bob's. It's B&B.
Find it, go there. It will change your life.
Life changing.
I had their cronut. Oh my gosh.
You had 3 cronuts last week.
Not at the same time. Oh my God, what's wrong with you, woman?
Just saying.
You had a lot of those cake donuts.
They were delicious. I don't regret a single one. So anyway, so no special merchandise at Boo Bash, but the stuff that they did have is flying off the shelf. So may the odds be in your favor if you can get it. Also, this morning, I don't know if you saw a chart to go through. I got up early and I ordered the Hocus Pocus Spirit jersey hit Shop Disney today, and then there was another Hocus Pocus shirt. I just got it. Now, mind you, I'm really a stickler about my annual pass holder discount, but I didn't want a chance not getting the shirt because I don't have it in me to go fight people for merchandise at the stores. I just don't. It stresses me out.
I like to fight people for stuff, but
no, I don't. I am not going to go in there and wrestle for a bag. I don't need it that bad.
Body slams them. Give me that bag.
So I just went and ordered it. But there's some Halloween merchandise on Shop Disney now. If it's still there, because it could be gone, but some of it was pre-orders.
And Tim is asking what hotel we stayed at.
We stayed at the Grand Legacy at the park, which is right across the street from me. It's one of Disneyland's good neighborhood hotels. It's right across the street, walking distance.
You pass the Tony Romo's, you pass the Denny's, you pass the IHOP, and then you're at Disney.
You're right there.
Right across the street.
Easy.
It's great.
Easy.
They're really nice. I mean, they're nice rooms. The pool's really nice. The staff was really great. I really enjoyed staying there. Again.
Miss it.
I know. I'll go back.
Okay, so Boo Bash, no merchandise, but scrapping and a gift shop.
Is that all the news?
No.
Oh.
I got one more before we wrap up.
Well, I want to talk about my news.
What's your news? Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up real quick because he's got something to say. So Christmas party tickets went on sale last week. So two mixed reviews again.
Romo's, right? Tony Romo's or Tony Romo's?
It's
the barbecue one. I can't remember which one it is.
I don't know. Anyway, Christmas. So they're adding. So it's still it's Merry After Hours or something, and it's 4 hours. But you're getting the Christmas time parade, you're getting fireworks. So it's basically a condensed version of Very Merry, because I don't think they have that dumb castle show.
No merchandise.
And probably no merchandise, unless they get with it by Christmas and get some merchandise for the party.
I saw the price of that party.
So here's the thing, just like the Boo Bash, you're paying more for less time. This is the same thing at Christmas time. Their tickets start, I think, at $169 and run up to $229 per person
for
a night.
4 hours.
For 4 hours. So, I mean, you really have to decide, if that's something that you want to
Family
do.
of four is over $1,000 of tax and everything.
So that means we can't go?
No, we're not.
I'm going to go by myself, so it only costs us $200 just so I can go see it. Is that right?
Romo's yeah, you can go by yourself. I don't want it. That's why I don't want to go to the Boo Bash either. I just, like I said, when they introduced these parties, the scaled down versions of what we had before, because they sold out so much, we're never going to get back to the old days. Because why would they? They can go with less staff, they make more money, and they don't have to work as hard.
I really hope the parties come back because they were better, they were cheaper. It was just, I don't know. It's expensive to go to the Christmas party. Again, starts at $169, and I'm sure that's the early parties and up to like $229.
That's probably like Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so before we wrap up, we do have a guest announcement for the House of Mouse.
That's right. So, unfortunately, Dominic Pace had to cancel. He was in The Mandalorian and many other shows, actually, but he had to cancel because the filming schedule came up, which we fully understand. He had filming come up, he had to go do that. So we sat there and we decided, do we want to get somebody to fill in his space? We have a great lineup already. And then we started talking, and him and Han. And then we reached out to a friend of ours, and he wanted to come. He was all on board. So let me put up his little picture here, because I know I have it somewhere.
That way you know who we're talking about.
So on the screen now, you should see a picture of Steve Valentine. Steve has been in a lot of different things. He's actually currently on the Disney Mickey Mouse Mixed Up Adventures. He's two of the different character voices. He's been in Teen Beach Movie. He's been in I'm in the Band. He was on the show Mom recently. He was on Crossing Jordan for many years. He's in Psych, which is one of our favorite shows. He was on there first time. He's a magician as well. Steve's just all-around great guy. We met him a few years ago back in at a convention in Alabama, Jamie's convention, and we just kind of started talking, and we've stayed close to him ever since and talked to him. And when this came up, and he had a free.
Actually, he reached out to us and said, "Yeah, let's do it." So Steve actually is the first, maybe the only, celebrity to ask for my book. Because this was in 2017, my book just came out, and I went to talk to him, and he was talking about his wife wanting to get into blogging, and so he had a deck of his magic cards, and I had my book, and he said, "Let's do a trade." So he signed his cards, and he had me sign my book to him, and I cried when I walked away. Because it was just very humbling. He's so nice, you guys. He is so nice.
Such a great guy.
So when he said he wanted to do our show, we're like, absolutely.
Absolutely, you're in. So Steve will be there for the weekend. He's coming to meet everybody. He loves Disney. Again, he's a huge Disney fan. He's been on a lot of Disney shows, does a lot of different voices for different the kids shows. Still talks about I'm in the band. He
My kids love that show. When they found out that he was coming, they're like, "He was an I'm in the band."
I know. I thought they kept talking about he was an I'm in the band.
And he was funny on that show. Yeah.
A lot more. He was in Mike and Molly. I mean, he's done a lot.
He's done a lot. Oh yeah, he's done a lot.
He was Billy Lipson's like that.
Did you guys ever watch Psych?
It was
one of our favorite shows, and he was in an episode of Psych. So, the House of Mouse Expo tickets are on sale at thehouseofmouseexpo.com. We have an amazing guest list, so make sure you check it out. Information about the Pleasure Island Rewind Dance Party with DJ Elliott will be out soon.
Yes, tomorrow we should have that available. We finally got some information back from the venue about as far as the type of food and such they'll have for us for the party. So we were waiting we didn't want to drop the ticket for that until we knew all the information. So we're going to be.
I wanted dessert pictures. I wanted to see, which you still haven't showed me, by the way.
Oh, I forgot to. But it's going to be a dessert party. DJ Elliott is DJing it. We have Mark Daniel, Lisa Glaze going to be handling parts of the show as well.
We didn't announce that yet.
Oh, well, that's an announcement. So I've announced it. What's wrong with that?
Well, because we didn't announce it yet.
Well, I just did. Bam. Drop the mic. But the show is going to be, they're really, all three of them are working together to put on a great show for us that night. So we think you guys are going to love it.
Yeah. And also this weekend we will be at Fanboy Expo in Orlando. Yes. We will have a booth for the Main Street Mouse and Lost Princess Apparel. Yes. And I'll have TMSM swag. I will have my book. So if you want to come by and say hey, it is at the Wyndham
and I Drive, right by the what do they call it now? The Orlando
Icon Orlando.
The Icon Orlando. It's near there. Come on out. It's the same hotel we were at for Spooky Empire a few months back, and where Spooky does at least one show every year from that hotel as well. Yes. But it's always a fun time. There's a lot of great guests going to be there this week. A lot of Disney guests, honestly. Margaret Carey, the lady who Tinkerbell,
the voice of Mickey Mouse, I will be there.
Ashley Eckstein from Star Wars Rebels will be there. The voice of Peter Pan will be there. Bambi and Thumper's voice actors will be there. Jim Cummings will be there. We'll be there. Just a lot of great guests they're going to have there. So
Friday,
come on out.
Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come on out and see us. Stop by, say hi.
And then, and one more thing, and then I promise we're going. Tickets for the next live on location at Disney Springs will be at CityWorks. They're available now at there's a link on LOL's page, but it's under. If they go to TMSMLOL.com, you can find tickets for the show.
There'll be a link right there. You can buy them right through that.
There's a smaller cap on it this month because it is at CityWorks, but we will have our giveaways and a little game and fun show, and my parents will be in town.
Her parents actually just found it out yesterday.
About that. So. My parents have never been to any of the crazy stuff that I do, so I'm
meetups or anything.
Super excited. Oh, and then the meetup.
Jocelyn asked about the How Many Sleeps to Disney World book. We are actually working on getting that printed by a different printer right now. Amazon had some issues with it. So we're actually going through another printer. So we'll be actually getting those hopefully within the next couple of weeks.
For the holidays, for sure. And for the House of Mouse Expo, we want to have my books on hand. But yes, once they come in, I will definitely post that we do have the Disney World versions back. But they are coming. So.
Yes, that's coming.
And I think that's it. But LOL tickets, come see us on the 29th at CityWorks, Disney Springs. It's going to be a fun time.
And meetup, you just started.
And the meetup, Main Street Mouse's big meetup this year is November 8th, Magic Kingdom. Make sure you get your park reservations for that day in advance. What?
No, go ahead.
What were you going to say?
I was just going to say another meetup after me, but go ahead and finish with yours.
Oh, okay. You derailed me.
I'm sorry. Your park reservations.
Meetup, park reservations, the 8th.
Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom, because we get to see all the 50th anniversary stuff, so more details to follow.
October 1st, we will be at Epcot also.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
With Jimmy Horn and the Disney Nerds podcast. We will be there. We're kind of doing an event together, So anybody who wants to come on out, and if you got a reservation at Epcot, come out and see us all. Or if you're going to Magic Kingdom, we'll be jealous and watching.
Yeah, I have a media event for the 50th those couple of days. So if I'm not at Epcot, if they have me over at Magic Kingdom, Scott will be at Epcot for the joint meetup with Disney Nerds podcast.
With Jimmy Morgan, whoever else, I'm not sure who else.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll all be there. We'll just be having fun.
Yeah. So That's it for this week. That was a lot to cram into an hour.
Holy cow, I'm tired now. I was tired before, and I'm really tired.
So I guess that's all. I hope you guys had a fun time with us. And
if you didn't, don't tell us.
Lots of fun stuff coming. We have such a busy few months coming up. So make sure you're following us on our social media, the Main Street Mouse at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all of that. And House of Mouse Expo and Lost Princess Apparel, because my head is like all over the place because I'm trying to keep all that running every day. But if you check it, you can stay with updates and everything that's going on.
That's right.
So I guess that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and we will see you real soon. Thanks for watching.